Hi, Javad is here and let's learn rails in Revit. For example, we want to create a rail for this shaft that we have in this site. To do that, you need to go to the architectural tab and in circulation panel, click on railing and then click on sketch path and then specify the level that you want to create your rails on. For example, let's put it on floor, second floor, or this is our third floor. Let's put it on third floor, and you can specify the offset, and also you have a offset from path to. For example, let's go to the top view, and in here let's pick the edges of this shaft that we have, and let's assign maybe 10 centimeter or 100 millimeter for our offset from path, and then click on OK. You can see the offset is from the inside, so let's put it on minus 100. And now we have our rail that we want to create, and we will talk about the shape of it and the types that you can create. And that's the way that you can create sketches. And also there are some limitations. For example, let's go to the edit sketch and let's bring it in here. You can have a continuous line, but you can't have multiple loops in a same rail. So that's the point. For example, if I would create another path in here, it doesn't work, and it will tell you that you can't have multiple loops in the same rail. If you want to create something like this, you need to click on finish and create it in another rail element. For example, let's delete it and let's go back to the things that we had. For example, let's delete this one and let's create a arc in here, maybe something like this. Click on finish and it will work for you beautifully, and there is no problem in it. So far the rails we created were in flat surfaces, but most of the time they are on stairs or on ramps. For example, we have some rails on stairs, and sometimes we have those ramps on ramps, and the creating of those kind of rails are really different, and you need to know some tips about them too. Now let's create those kind of ramps that I've said for our stairs. To do that, click on railing and let's put it on place on a stair and ramp, and then you have two options: the placing the rails on treads, or you can place rails on your string. Let's put it on tread and let's choose this one, and you can see the magic happens and you have your rails in here. This part, because I have a section box, that's the reason that we can't see the full rail in here. We can do it for the ramps too. Now let's test it on ramps. Again, click on railing and put it on place on a stair ramp. Select your ramp. In ramp, it doesn't make any difference when you choose threads or strings, and then click on your ramp, and now you have your rails in here. Even after making them, you can change the type of them really easily. For example, let's put it on pipe. Now let's change this one too, and now you have your new rails for your ramp. But what happens if I would want to place a fence or place a rail on this slope wall? Is that possible or not? There is a trick in here. Let's go to the top view and let's create our ramp with a simple way and a sketch path, and let's create a rail in here. The level is not really important, just place it in here. Click on finish, and now you can see there is no difference in here, but the key is here. Select your rail, or you can put it on wireframe to select it. Now it is selected right now, and then click on pick host, and you can select the new host for it and select your wall. Now you have your sloped rail beautifully has been modeled by Revit automatically. But maybe you're wondering, sometimes we have topo surfaces and we want to have a fence on it or something else. We want to have a fence, for example, in this road. How we can do it? Or we want to use rail tool to create some kinds of other functional things with rail features. Can we host it on topographies or not? Let's dive into the software and let's see it. But before that, make sure to like and subscribe us to help us to create more videos like this. Now I want to place some rails on my topography. To do that, click on railing and sketch path, and let's create a path in here. For example, let's click on finish, and now you can see nothing's happened. So let's click on pick a new house and select your topography, and you can see your rails are adapting to the topography that you've selected. Now, after understanding how we can create and sketch rails, it's time to understand the anatomy of rails. In rails, we have balusters and we have rails. Rails for horizontal elements and baluster for vertical elements. But in each of them, we have sub elements too. For example, in rails, we have top rails, we have extensions, and in balusters, we have end posts. We have also in rails too, we have handrails and support. And all of these elements are having their own type. Don't confuse, we will learn all of them right now. Now it's time to dive into rail edit type. It's a big edit type, and it's a big tool in Revit to master, but I've tried to make it so simple, and we will learn it really precisely in here. For example, let's select a railing in here, and let's work with railing, and let's go to the edit type and let's click on duplicate, and let's put it on, maybe click on finish. And now you have some main parts in edit type in Revit. As I said, we have our horizontal parts, our rails, and we have our balusters, and posts are in balusters too. We have baluster offset and all of these parameters that I'm not going to cover all of them in here, but I will cover the important ones. For example, let's go to the rail part, and you can see in this part we don't have any intermediate or middle rails, and we just have a top rail. And the top rail part is a different part in edit type. So if we would go to the rail structure, we will see nothing, because this is a rail without any intermediate rails. To create and insert a new intermediate rail, click on insert, and then you can name it whatever you want. For example, 1. Then you can place a height from the base of it. For example, let's put it on. The main height of the railing is about 1.1 meters, so let's put it on about 300 millimeter, and you can place offset from the axis of your rail, and you can change the material too. For example, let's click on apply and click on finish. Click on finish. You can see the new rail in here. But what is about how we can change the shape of it? The shape is coming from a profile. You can create a profile in the profile family, and you can load it, and you can change the profile of it from here. For example, let's put it on maybe a circular this time. Let's click on apply. Click on apply. You can see the new circular profile in this part. You can add some other intermediate rails, and for example, you can achieve something like this. The pipe type we have, let's put it on pipe. This is a rail with multiple rails. For example, we have a top rail in this part, and then we have 4 intermediate and secondary rails in our edit type. And now let's place some balusters, and let's learn about the balusters. In balusters, as I said earlier, we have posts, the first and the end, and the corner balusters. We call them posts that most of the time are different than some posts that we have. For example, the posts are a little bit bigger or different in design. To create balusters and to control the balusters, let's click on edit type. One of these in here, let's click on edit type. Let's go to the baluster placement. This is a really overwhelming window, but it's really simple. Click on preview. You can see the preview of your railing. You have your pattern or intermediate rails that you have in here. You can change the You can change the name of it and you can change the family of it. For example, let's put it on a maybe a square 20 millimeter. As you can see that now they are simpler than the post, and you can have multiple balusters too. For example, in here, let's click on duplicate and let's put it on something like maybe circular. We don't have we have a run in here. Let's put it on run 20 millimeter. And for the base and top, host is your level. Let's put it our host on rail 1 that we've created earlier. Let's click on apply. And now you can see we have something like this, and you can change the top part too, and can specify the offsets and can put a distance from previous to. And this is the thing that can achieve by this. For example, let's put on a smaller number and can achieve something like this, or let's put it on 200, and you can achieve two different things by putting some things like this. Let's copy it and let's place it in here. Let's click on apply. You can see we have our parts in here, but there are some intermediate rails, and I will put some examples to know about the other parts of railing and other shapes of railing you create, and you can practice with them too. And then we have our posts, and for the post you need to specify which part of the rail you want to place posts. For example, I've specified I want the post on beginning, and this is the justify for the offsets in here. And also I've specified that I want my balusters in end and also in the corners. If you don't want any baluster in the corner, you need to put it on none, or you can put it on the exact family that you have in here. For example, let's place them on a bigger one. This is on a bigger one, or let's put it on maybe around 25 and around 25, and the base and the top is great. Click on OK. Now we will specify our balusters. Click on finish, and now you can see our start and our end balusters are run, but other balusters are in rectangular and square shape. But how we can we have balusters in corner? Yes, you can. Just you need to place some corners in here. For example, let's create another rail in this part. Let's create another one in this part. Let's click on finish, and now you have your balusters in corners too, in addition to the start and end. And also there is a trick in here. If you want to have a baluster post at the middle of it, it's really easy. Just go to the edit part and just split the place that you want to have another post. For example, let's click on split in here. Let's click on finish, and let's zoom a little bit, and now you can see we've added a post at the middle of our rail. So this is the baluster placement and rail placement for our railings. Now the next option that we want to cover is top rail. For example, in here we have top rail and we can change it. But before that, let's dive into balusters for our railings. It is different placement railings. For example, in this stair, I've placed my railing on threads. You can see they are on our threads, and in here we have them on strings. When you have them on strings, the settings are same as usual rails that you have. But when you place them on thread, this is different, and you don't control them by distance. You control them by number on each thread. For example, let's go to the edit type, and in here let's go to the baluster placement, and we have our baluster per thread. For example, let's put it on 1, and let's click on OK. And OK, you can see we just have one baluster per thread. You can add other balusters too. So that's the difference in baluster placement for your stairs. But in railing, in landings, it is same as usual rails. So that's the way that you can place balusters on stairs. Okay, that's great. Let's click on edit type, and in here let's go to the top rail part. For example, you can delete your top rail. You can change the height of it. For example, let's put it on 900. Let's click on apply. You can see all of the balusters and rails came down because the host of the top host of our balusters were top rail. If I would go in here, you can see the top host of our rails were our top rail. So this height will change the balusters too. You can go to the type and you can change the top rail, and especially you can change the material of it, and you can change the profile of it. For example, let's put it on a maybe something like this C-shaped profile. Click on OK and OK and OK, and now you can see we've created something like this for our railing very easily. Okay, that's great. Let's click on edit type, and then let's talk about the handrails. As I said, handrails are great for placing some places for disabled people to go up from ramps or those kind of places, or for elder people, they can use it for better communication and better circulation. Okay, to place top rail, first of all, you need to select the type of it. For example, let's put it on let's click on the type of it, and in here you can change the profile of your handrail. Let's put it on circular, and let's click on OK, and then you need to place you need to specify the position of it. For example, let's put it on left, click on apply, and you can see the height of it is not really great for us. Let's go to the edit type, and in here let's change the height to something like 700, and we can see the difference in here. And some of the small elements, you can see some of the small elements in here, they are supports. You can change the support of it really easily from here. You can change the family on support, and you can change the layout from fixed distance to align with posts or fixed number. Let's put it on align with post, click on OK and OK, and now you can see we have our supports on our post and aligned with our post, and we've changed the handrail too. You can place it in both sides, and you can also have your second handrail too. But should we model all of these things every time? The answer is no. And we have some ready-to-use files rails. You can use them and bring them in your project. I'll put this file on my Patreon too, so check it out. And let's see how we can use these ready-to-use rails in Revit. As I said, you don't need to create all of them each time. You can use ready-to-use rails for other projects too. For example, I love this rail with different posts and different balusters. To bring it in my project, just press Ctrl C. And in your project, click on Ctrl V, and we want the type of it, so click on OK, and now place it anywhere you want. It's not a big deal. Delete it, and now when you go to in your railing type, you have a new type in here, and this is the rail that you want. For example, let's split it and let's have some other balusters in these parts, something like this. As you can see, it doesn't work because you need to go to the edit type, and let's put the baluster placement, add breaks to, for example, in corner. Let's put it on the exact baluster family that we have in here. Let's Ctrl C and control it in here, click on finish, and now you have your balusters at corners too. So that's great. For example, let's change these to the rail that we've bring them in. Now you can see the beauty of the new rail that we've brought. And the other topics that you need to know to understand the rails better are stairs, and they are vital for creating a great circulation. I will put the link in here So make sure to go and watch that to master the stairs in Revit 2.